Artist Spotlight from StreamCult.com. Today's artist is the Christian rock band Fight the Fade. Here is your host, CAITLIN HOFFMAN.
You guys have a great sound. I heard you a year ago almost. I instantly loved you. But today we're going to talk about your newest album, What We Know. Zine, you want to talk about that?
What We Know is, it's actually the first album with this current lineup. And what it's written about is the story of the Samaritan woman at the well in John 4. It's kind of a concept album, so if you look through the lyrics, a lot of those will reflect that. With the exception of our first couple singles, House of Cards and Tomorrow, which we wrote before we decided on the concept, the overall theme of the album is that story.
And House of Cards, that is like, I love that song. I really do. That was your last single, right?
Yes. That was actually part of my audition, was
really?
Writing that song. So, but fun fact.
Fun fact, it was. But your latest single is actually the album title, What We Know. And what made this song so special? Brian?
It's our not cover, it's our title track. And it basically kind of just lays out the whole concept of the album of sharing God and sharing God with others and telling people what we know.
Well, and that brings up a good point. You guys are a Christian rock band. You've shared the stage, like we were talking about earlier, Jars of Clay, Mercy Me, The Letter Black. You were talking about, Trevor, how you've spoken to some of the guys from The Letter Black, and you've learned a lot talking to them. So what are some of the things that you've picked up from them?
Well, when we're out on the road, as much as possible, we try, because we've only been doing this 4 years, and we get to interact with bands that have been doing 8, 10, 12 years. And so, like Mark Anthony's one of those guys that I like to pick his brain or talk to him and kind of learn some things while we're out on the road. And I try to do that as much as possible. I know that other members of the band have learned, as far as musicianship or their sound or their tone, that with other fellow bands that we've played with, that have, and it's just a very, we've got a mind to learn a lot and to be open to learn and not just kind of get fixed and set on, okay, this is how we're going to do it. And we like to talk to other bands and, okay, well, what are you doing right? Give us some feedback. And just when we got to tour with other bands, it's just awesome to hear, hey, how do you guys do things? And you just kind of take all this information together, and we just kind of try to see what we can do to apply it in our own band. And we think that's important. We think that's important for bands right now, especially with the climate of the music world, that you have to have a mind of learning. If you go into it thinking you know everything, I don't think you're gonna go very far.
Well, what you do know is, ba-doom-ching, you do know you are releasing a new music video for What We Know. Brian, I understand you were kind of behind the scenes of that, right?
Well, actually, we did it ourselves. Like, as this band, like, we pretty much do everything ourselves, from recording to final mix and then everything. So we decided to take on the challenge of the music video, and we had some friends help us out. But the basic music video is performance shots and then storyline, and we got really cool performance shots, and our storyline comes with a girl, and she kind of portrays the story of the Samaritan woman, how she kind of has struggles, and then at the end she kind of finds out what we know, hence the name. Which is Jesus. Jesus, yes. Jesus Christ. Jesus.
You guys are Jesus Cristo. You guys are also prepping for a tour this summer, right? You don't know where that's going to be?
We have an idea. We're still in the process of booking, and in a few weeks we're going down to South Texas. But this summer we definitely will probably play a lot of summer festivals again, like we did last year. Trevor knows a little bit more about that than I do.
As a band, we stay pretty busy, and I think we were figuring out we played about 350 shows in 4 years, and that's a lot of shows, especially for a band kind of where we're at. And so we usually stay very busy on the touring circuit. We don't have any announcements or anything yet right now, but but we have a habit of staying busy and keeping on shows. This past year, we played a lot of festivals. We kind of, like the summertime, we wanted to focus on festivals, and we did that and had a great time. Had a blast. Besides camping, Brian does not camp well at all.
I don't either. I've never been. I won't go.
Brian does not camp well. But this year will be a combination, though. We'll do a combination of touring and festivals. Last year we spent the early part of the year writing an album and didn't tour as much. And of course we've a little over a year ago we went through a lineup change, and so last year we had kind of focused on festivals, and so this year we'll definitely be focusing on the combination touring and this, coming up here.
And you're writing another album.
And we're always
planning to write another album in 2013.
We're in pre-production right now. We're in pre-production, like just writing, and at least my goal is for about 75 songs, and then pick about 10 out of the mix.
75 songs. That's a hefty number. How do you choose 10 songs out of 75 songs?
Flip a coin.
I mean, really?
Like to draw straws.
Yeah.
Like short end of the stick. So
write the song
every
name on
song
the
has a
straw.
number, and we just pull random straws, and whichever 10 get picked, that's what we go with.
Oh.
No, we kind of just whichever ones really click, which ones we can kind of we start off a base of everything, and which ones really take off and really go somewhere. Then those are the ones we choose to make the album cut.
Do you all write collectively, or do you write individually and then just like combine forces?
Yes. It's a little bit of everything, yeah. And part of that is the amount of songs that we have to do the least rewriting with. We actually go through a significant amount of changes. There's several songs on the album that started off completely different than they ended up. And that's what's great about working together with the songs. Everybody makes the song a little bit better, and we're all pretty open to criticism on what we've done, so that way we can.
He's not.
Not important. But
is that a collective vote?
I sat in the back for a reason.
Well, we make our songs better by working together and by interjecting ideas and trying new things. In each album we try to put out, we try to do a little bit something different, a little bit better than we did the last album.
Yeah, and the sound on this album is quite different from your last album. Lastly, you covered Adele's Set Fire to the Rain. Why that song, and how has that worked out for you?
It has worked out far past my expectations of how it would have worked out. It was kind of an idea. I was driving with my brother, and the song came on the radio, and I just thought, Zine's voice would sound really cool on that song. That's instantly my thought, and so sat down one night and laid the whole song out, and within about a week we had the song out, released it onto YouTube, and it's taken off.
How many views does it have?
Right now on our page it has almost 20,000. But I've seen it on other people's that have uploaded it, and it's gotten up to over 60,000 and then taken down, and then multiple times. So
really,
it's done well for us, to say the least.
Well, I am not surprised. You guys have a great sound anyway, so I think anything you would to sing would sound amazing. That pretty much closes up our artist spotlight. Where can your fans and future fans find your music?
Anywhere online, Amazon, iTunes, anything like that. If you go to fightthefade.com, you can download them. Just something to say.
We also have apps for cell phones. Android, Apple, both have a music player on them, so you can listen to it there as well.
All right, guys. Well, once again, thanks for hanging out. I feel like I know you so much better now. I look forward to what the future holds for you guys. I think it's going to be good things. So once again, I am CAITLIN HOFFMAN, and to find more Fight the Fade music, you can go to streamcult.com for this interview or all your other music outlets. And I am signing out.
It's a floating, not easily